Good morning. Happy Saturday, everyone. I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting live from Morelia, Mexico. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we make presentations all the time, putting up a couple of videos a week, going live on Saturday, and we get together and share information about the joys of living in Mexico. I'm happy to see that everybody could join us this morning. We're getting kind of comfy cozy in our new settings down here in Morelia. I love Mexico. I enjoy every day. And if you're new here, please introduce yourselves. Click the subscribe button. Click the like button. And ask any questions. There are no bad questions. This is not my show. This is, in fact, this is whose show is it? It is your show. This is your show. Ask anything. Immigration, cost of living. Where's a good spot to land in Mexico? Where are the places to visit? What's it like living here day by day? What's the climate like? All that good stuff. Where can you get a good cerveza? Whatever. Let's see who's in the house here. We got we have Stefan in the house in Canada. Buck Stops here has been around for a while this morning. And who is this? Cali State Job Coach. Buena dia, Boquete, Panama. Hola, Cali Coach. Char is in the house again. Lola's Bow is in the house. I'm on time. Woo, yeah, always happy to see people on time. And none other than Brian, Pretty Boy Maiden, is in the house. He's here every weekend. Happy to see you, Brian. And Eric Ola is telling everyone happy Saturday. And Lenora Wilson, good morning with her two lovely dogs. And Texas Orange, morning, everyone, and morning to you too. We got Temple Moore. Morning, Bill and chat, and my neighbor here in Morelia, David. Hola, David, and your lovely wife, Maria. We got Nancy. Good morning. Happy Saturday. When every day is Saturday when you're retired. That's funny. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks, Bill, for your info on buying pesos. You're very welcome. That's in my notes to talk about today, the value of the peso. Hola, gent. Ms. Sam, also my neighbor in Morelia. She's been down here much longer than me. And I want to get together with David at some point and with Ms. Sam and do interviews with them about how do they like Morelia. I think David has been here for sort of a long time, like more than a few years. He owns a house down here. Miss Sam gets all around town, has a good time. What enjoyable interviews those would be for sure. And if you would ever like to be on this show when we broadcast live, send me an email and we can put you on. We can put you on for the whole show. You can be like my Ed McMahon, just sitting there in the background, thinking about things to say. We'll have a good time. People get to know who you are. But hola, Ms. Sam, and none other than Ken Art is in the house. He's diving. He's jumped out of the airplane, and he's watching us live on his cell phone as he skydives. Who knows where on the planet he is? And she thinks, so she speaks, is in the house. Another beautiful day in Charlotte. Great to see you here. Good looking. Hey, and Lois, good morning from Bucerias. And for those of you that don't know where Bucerias is, I'm going to say Bucerias is about a 15-minute drive from Puerto Vallarta. It's north of Puerto Vallarta, and it's a very nice place. And most people don't know about Bucerias, and it's right down the road from Sayulita. If you're visiting or living in Sayulita in a Bucerias, great place to be. Yes, everybody's is every day is Saturday when you're retired. Yeah, when you get to be my age, I wake up. I don't know what day it is. I don't even know it's Saturday because I'm going live. The rest of the week, I'm just kind of comatose. Marco, hola, Marco. Thank you so much for joining us again. Marco is from the area, and last week, Marco gave me 4 pueblos that will be great for day trips, and I'm looking into that. And I thank you so much for all of your feedback, for helping all of us get more information about the joys of living in Mexico. Again, if this is your first time here and you have any questions, any comments about the joys of living in Mexico, just leave a comment. I've been here 20 years. I don't know diddly squat about Mexico. The more you learn about something, the more you understand that you don't know diddly squat. But with all of these happy brains in here, with all this experience that we have in here, what I don't know, somebody in the house does know. I got to click a button over here, make that go away. Let's go back to this camera. We have electricity this morning. I think we're running at about 400 meg. The cameras seem to be working. The computers are working. Our lights are on. We're very happy. Let's get with us. Say a couple of more hellos. Hello, wonderful Saturday morning with your great show and subscribers. Thank you so much. Henry Liston, Cali State job coach, considering a visit and possible move to Morelia in 2024. I'm loving Morelia. I love each and every day. I'm finding out more and more about my neighborhood each and every day. I found this is so different than living in Mazatlan. And yeah, I'm not saying it right. I'm not going to worry about it. And yes, I do mispronounce stuff, but I'm trying. Okay. But this is so much more rich than living for me in Puerto Vallarta or Mazatlan, even Guadalajara. I love. Oh, and it's August. I'm chilly. I should have on a hoodie. I should have a hoodie on right now because it's cold in here. I got my windows open. Maybe I should close my windows. And the people are strangely very friendly here. Lois, yes, love it here. Yahoo, Lois, where the heck are you? And Ray Garcia's asking each and every one to click that like button. Head coach, buenos dias, Memo. Head coach, what kind of coach are you? Dora Ray, hello from shaky Bakersfield, California. I hope they are not earthquakes in Morelia. They have earthquakes all over the planet. I was in Columbus, Ohio, when I was really poor. When I was a college student, I was working on my master's degree at Ohio State. I had a really nasty 1-bed apartment. It was terrible. I mean, it was really small and funky, but it was cheap, and I could get my master's degree. But one morning, I was sleeping on the floor, on the nasty floor, at 2:00 in the afternoon, and there was an earthquake in Columbus, Ohio. Who can imagine that, an earthquake in Columbus, Ohio? I've only been through one earthquake in Mexico, maybe 2, and both of those I was in Guadalajara. It seems to be they're a bit common in Guadalajara. Whatever. Michelle, good morning. Bill and everyone looks always looking forward to every Saturday. Thank you so much, Michelle. We do what we can with what we got. Happy to be here. Ashley, great day. Oh, beautiful morning in Playa del Carmen. I've never been there. Thank you for being you. Thank you so much for being here. Ms. Sam, I meant la gente, the people. La gente, the people. Right on, girl. Chris is in the house. I know you're having fun and people are following you there. Yeah, Chris. Chris has a YouTube channel. He lives in the Ahiheek area. He's a nut. He's from Michigan. He has quite a story to tell. But always great to see you in the house. And look who's here. Crazy Boy Radio. Happy morning. Happy Saturday. And Crazy Boy Radio signed up to be on our Facebook page. We have a new Facebook page. It's called Mexico Expats Living in Mexico. Bill Dallas Lewis. There is a link to to join that group in the description below. But anyway, Crazy Boy Radio, they signed up last weekend, and I got to see what his real name was. That's really funny. I don't disclose private information on anybody that shows up, okay? But you never know what anybody's real name, like Ms. Sam's real name. I know her real name. It's funny, the things you find out about people. And we got Helen. Hi, Bill. Hi, all from Toronto Alley, Delaware, day before yesterday. Okay, I'm trying to figure that out. And we got a regular Mr. William Mustache Stone Man. Look at that mustache. Saludos desde el este de Tennessee hoy. Okay, well, thank you, William Mustache Stone Man. Right on. Happy to see you here. Bill, I told you how wonderful it is here in Morelia. I am emotional every morning I get up about being grateful to be here. And Ms. Sam is so right. It's like living in a fantasy world here. It's unimaginable. Somewhere in my notes, I think in my notes, at the very end of my notes, I say that Mexico is not for everybody. Columbus, Ohio is not for everybody. New York City is not for everybody. Los Angeles is not for everybody. Cincinnati, Ohio is not for everybody. And, LSD is not for everybody. When I was in college, I loved some LSD, but I have a happy brain. I only have happy thoughts pretty much. But if you have a deranged, sick, murderous mind, and you hate everything, LSD is the last thing you want to take. I'm going to tell you, man. But if your heart is filled with love and joy and you're adventurous and you just want to be around happy people and the cost of living is very low, you might want to check out some different places in Mexico. I enjoy, like Ms. Sam, I enjoy each and every day. And in a place the size of Morelia, yeah, I could go to El Centro. I could see the cathedral and the plaza and the governor's office, because Morelia is the capital of Michoacan. But there are so many sightseeing places to see. But for me, just going to little shops, I found, what was I doing? Something's going on in Morelia, because when I was in Mazatlan, I could walk to 3 Oxxos And for those of you that don't know, OXXO is like 7-Eleven. There are there are like 13,000 OXXOs in Mexico. But when I was in Mazatlan, I could walk to 4 different OXXOs, and they were all like 4 blocks away. And if you go down the main street in Mazatlan, there's a OXXO every 4 blocks. Here, I've got to walk like almost a mile to get to the nearest OXXO. And in the neighborhood, that I live in, there are like no OXXOs. So I was out exploring the neighborhood, and this week I found a new fish shop, a new butcher shop, a few more restaurants. I found a hardware store all within 5 blocks from where I live. And these are just little community, small places about half the size of my apartment. And everything's so affordable, and the people are so friendly. But I enjoy each and every day. And who can beat this climate? It must be maybe 69 degrees here. It's August 10th. And it's about 69 degrees. It's partly sunny, mostly cloudy here today. It's been raining pretty much every night. Then I do my walk at 6:30 in the morning. So fortunately, it rains at night, stops raining around 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm good to go for a walk. I love living in Mexico. Maybe it's because I don't know anybody here. Maybe it's because I don't understand the politics here. I don't have family here. That's a big help. You don't have any family to talk to. But I love Mexico each and every day. Let's see what's going on here in comments. Oh, William Mustache Snowman, seen any expats yet? We never saw one. Little children looked at us like we were aliens. That's funny. Yeah, man. That's how they look at me. Little children. And this is what I said last week, I think. Little kids look at me like, and these are the real little kids. They're 2, 3, 4 years old, and they're looking at you like, what are you, man? I never seen one of you before. What the heck are you? It's like being black in New Hampshire or something like that, right? But no, I haven't seen. I have a neighbor that is an expat. I saw them for the first time a couple of weeks ago. I think they're from Oregon or something like that. They're missionaries. Okay. But no, other than them, I've been here. I've been here like 6 weeks now. I've seen, other than them, that's a husband, a wife, and their 3 little kids. Other than them, I've seen 0 expats in the 6 weeks that I've been here. And I kind of like it that way. Kenny Wilson, how much is the rent for Airbnb in Morelia? Kenny, the prices range. There's quite a big range. If you have an Airbnb app on your computer or on your phone, it's very easy. Just go to your app, type in Morelia, Mexico, and you'll see a whole bunch of Airbnbs. I think I found places ranging from $17 a night and up. Of course, with Airbnb, sometimes for $17, you're going to be in a room, sharing a room with a family, maybe. I found many places for like $27, and those were standalone apartments, of course, fully finished all over town. I found one. I think I got when I first got here, before I got into this apartment, I went for, I think, which was the most expensive one. It was $66 a night. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It had 3 beds. It was fabulous, right in the middle of El Centro. I did some videos about it. but it was $66 a night. Well worth every dollar. It was right next to McDonald's. So I'm going to say, just get on your Airbnb app, type in Morelia, and somebody, somebody, I'm not going to say their name, but I spoke with this person yesterday, and they found an Airbnb in Morelia for 1 month for like $350. And because they want to come down for a month and find a place to stay, which is, I mean, that's a damn good price. It's an Airbnb, 1 month, $350. Very good. So the prices are very reasonable. Ms. Sam, if you don't mind, what part of Morelia do you live in? And if I'm not mistaken, she doesn't live far from me. She lives in, I'm going to say, the southeastern area off of a street called University, something like that. Anyway, here we go. Axel Foley, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Axel Foley, great to see you in the house. I haven't seen your movie yet. Lola's Bow, laughing out loud. Good for you. Ray Garcia, Oxo Bot. All 7-Elevens here in El Paso, Texas. Whatever. Who would have thought, right? Oxo's taking over the United States. Danger, danger. Will Robinson, watch out. Dominique is in the house. Great to see you here as always, Dominique. Have you been to any local festival yet? There is, of course, last year I went to the Leon Balloon Festival. That happens every November in Leon. Today, one of my neighbors, and this is just from walking around in the morning, one of my neighbors told me that there's a big guitar festival. I guess it's like not far from here, and it ends up it's Guitar City, and they manufacture a lot of guitars and ship these things all over the world, but they have a big guitar festival. So Axel Foley, I've been here 6 weeks. Took me like a week to get into my apartment, to get settled in, get all my money straight, figure out where I am, what I'm doing, and all of that. But I think I will be on the road probably by the first week of September, if not sooner. Just getting settled in and not moving around is kind of settling. So I don't think I'll be going to any local festivals other than just going to the Tianguis. Okay, now, David, my neighbor David. Hey, Bill, I walked past your Airbnb yesterday. That's right in the center of downtown, right next to McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken. You're very welcome, Kenny. And again, if you're new here, if this is your first time, click the like button, ask any questions, and somebody in the house will answer your question, if not myself. Marco, there are a lot of Mexican Americans that either have homes there or travel back often. Technically, expats, depending on perspective. Yeah, when I was here last year, the first time I came to Morelia was last August. It was August 25th. I fell in love with Morelia on my stay, and there was a Mexican American in El Centro, and with his son, and they were staying at one of the most expensive hotels right across the street from the main plaza. And I talked with him for about an hour. He wouldn't let me interview him, but I said, well, where are you from? He says, I'm from here. He said, but I live in Chicago. He said, but all of my family is here. But like Marco says, he comes down here frequently. He has a lot of family here, but he lives in Chicago. Earthly color brown, blessings by way of Fairbanks, Alaska, eyeing Morelia over Merida due to weather extremes. Merida is just a little too hot for me. David, I saw that all the 7-Elevens are in financial trouble in the United States. Okay. Paracho is a town for guitar making, and that is the name of the city by my neighbor. I mean, literally, when I walk in the morning, I walk up my street and down my street, up my street and down the street for an hour. The hill is phenomenal, but I'm really getting in shape. But I met a new neighbor. It was about 4 or 5 days ago. Her name is Guadalupe. And I think I was shooting an intro. I remember I had my tripod with me and my camera. I was shooting an intro. And she says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I make YouTube videos." And, I go here and I go there. And Guadalupe said, she told me about Paracho. She told me about Paracho, and that's where they're having the guitar festival starting today. I don't know how long it lasts. But that's about, she said it was like a 2-hour drive from here, Paracho. Yes, I remember her telling me that name. Hola, Ali State. Bill is right. There you go. Yeah. I live off Avenida Universidad, very Centro. There you go. Thanks, Ms. Sam. We're all friendly here. We're all here to share information, to share the joy and the love of living in Mexico. It's a lot of fun. Also, I put up 2 videos this week. One video, it was about the peso. I think I put that up Wednesday. I was running behind this week. The peso, and it's called something like the peso's dropping like a rock. And it was what's today? Saturday. I'm going to say last Monday. The value of the peso was just like low. That's all I can say. It was at about 19.67, which is a rate that took it back to its value from about 2 years ago. And since then, as of today, last time I checked, the rate of the peso is about 18.65, which is still much lower than like this. It was around 16, and that's when my rent really skyrocketed. That's when my rent skyrocketed in Mazatlan. One of the big reasons I moved to Morelia. Julie Owens, what's going on? Hi, Bill. We just got just got back from a scouting trip to Ajijic and loved it, and may move there. Love the climate and the people, and 2, can you compare life in Ajijic to Morelia? Okay, that's a very good question. First of all, I want to thank all of the people in Ajijic that helped me launch my channel. That was like 3 years ago. And pretty much all of my videos 3 years ago pretty much were all about Chapala, Ajijic, Jocotepec, Guadalajara, and the people of Ajijic were extremely supportive. Before I left Ajijic Chapala, the Chapala Ajijic community, I believe, got me up to my first 5,000 subscribers. They were fabulous, and I've got to thank them. They got me started, and it got to a point. When I was living in Ajijic, I couldn't leave my house because if I went into Ajijic, everybody wanted to talk to me. Oh, I've seen your videos. I've seen your videos. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, there's a great pueblo that is near Puerto Vallarta, near Bucerias. It is 13 miles north of Puerto Vallarta, and it is called Sayulita. And if you visited Sayulita today, it is fabulous. I mean, if you get there, it is a international community of visitors, tourists, like you're not going to find in many other Mexico cities. I mean, when I was in Sayulita about a year and a half ago, and there were people there from Australia, New Zealand, all kinds of people that aren't your typical visitors that are visiting Puerto Vallarta. So many places to eat, so much music. But I'm going to answer your question comparing Ajijic to Morelia here in a second. But Sayulita is very small. And after you walk around, I mean, you can walk around the whole town pretty much in about an hour. If you're in a wheelchair, you can explore the whole town in about an hour and a half. So when you first get there, I mean, it's fabulous for a weekend, but after a weekend, you've seen everything there is to see in Sayulita. It's a fabulous place, very expensive place now. It used to be a very affordable place, cheap. It used to be very cheap when I first went there, when they had dirt streets. So I'm going to compare Ajijic to Chapala. No, I'm going to compare Ajijic to Sayulita because sounds like, I don't know. It sounds like the police are outside. I hope they don't want me. So Ajijic is great. And of course, some people live there, but it's not that big. I'm going to say in 2 weeks, if not 1 week, you can walk around all Ajijic in 1 week. Okay, I think the police went away. You can walk around Ajijic in about a week, see all the restaurants pretty much. 2 weeks for sure. You can walk around. If you're out there walking around, you've seen everything there is to see about Ajijic, pretty much. And then after a month, when you go back to a restaurant, all the people you see, you just saw at the other restaurant you just left the morning that you had breakfast in. And so all of a sudden, I'm going to say after about 6 months, Ajijic becomes very small. Which can be good to a lot of people because it's a small, close-knit community, wonderful people, if that's what you want. And I'm going to say it's just a lot of Americans and Canadians, okay? So and let me share a story about the first time I ever went to Ajijic area. I was living in Guadalajara, and I hadn't seen an expat in I saw 3 expats in 3 years in Guadalajara. 3 years, 3 expats. So I take a trip to the movie theater in Chapala, which is like 10 miles from Ajijic. No. The movie theater is in Ajijic. Laguna Mall, I think, and they have a food mart. So I'm sitting in the outside food mall waiting for the movie to get started. And I'm sitting there, and it's like these 15 gray-haired white people show up to eat at the food mart. And I'm like, whoa, what is this? It's like 15 gray-haired white people. I hadn't seen any white people. They look like Americans. I hadn't seen 15 white people together in 3 years. And then I'm sitting there and like 10 other, they're all white with gray hair. Okay. Okay. God bless them. Wonderful people. They said hello, all of that. But I haven't seen, and a lot. It's like everybody's retired in Ahihic. Okay. A lot of white people with gray hair that are retired. Now in Morelia, on my block, you got infants that are Mexicans, 4-year-old Mexicans, 8-year-old Mexicans. You got teenage Mexicans. You have a couple of elderly Mexicans. I haven't seen any old gray hair white people in like 6 weeks. Somebody said, hey, have you run into any expats yet? The expats I ran into, they were like in their early 30s, and their kids were like little kids. I haven't seen any old gray-haired white people in like 6 weeks. So the difference between Ahihic and Morelia is, I wonder if that's the police. They got a megaphone out there. But the difference is Morelia has like 1 million people. It's a big Mexican community, lots of small shops and delicatessens and all that kind of stuff. So Ahihic, I think, is a great landing spot if you want to live around a lot of elderly, retired Caucasians. If that's how you want to live, okay. I don't want to live like that. I'm not retired. I make these YouTube videos, but I don't want to be in an old folks home. That's not me. Okay. I want to see young people. I like seeing young people. I got young, beautiful women walking around in my neighborhood all the time. I mean, so Morelia is like Mexico. Morelia is like Mexico, and I'm going to say that Ahihic is like a retirement home of gray-haired white people. And if you that's what I'm just going to say it. That's what it is. So it depends on what you're looking for. So let me scroll up here and see. El Gringo Sin Nombre. That pretty much that means expat without a name. Hola, Bill. Great videos this week. I'm going to talk about those soon. Here we go. David, I go past Bill's Airbnb very often. Since I am always at Woolworths. It's so funny. That cracks me up, man. It cracks me up that Ms. Sam, who lives here in Morelia, and that Dave, that lives here in Morelia, they know exactly where my Airbnb was because it's right down the street from Woolworths, next door to McDonald's, next door to KFC, and across the street from Little Caesars Pizza. And they know exactly where it is. That's hilarious. Okay, the buck stops here. Yes, sir. I visited Cancun, Puerto Juarez, Isla Mujeres, about a 2-hour drive from Merida. January 2024, the temperature was over 95 the entire week I was there. Sorry, amigos, that's too hot for me, and I am with you, Buck. I've been to Cancun. I've been there for quite a while, but it was hot as a mofo. And for all of you that don't know what mofo means, that's black man talk for another 2 words that I'm not allowed to say on YouTube or I'll get banned. But hot as a mofo means you go outside, you're going to sweat. That's the way it was in Puerto Vallarta in the summer. That's the way it was in Mazatlan in the summer. Terrible. Terrible means terrible, not for me. Walking uphill hourly is awesomeness. Inspiring. Do you notice muscle strength increasing? How is the weather on my skin? Okay. Yeah, I have this walk that I'm doing now. I got a picture of some of it here. Let's scroll down. Where is that? Where is that? This is half of my street. Half. This is half. And I walk up. This is half. I walk up that hill, then down the hill. And this is a park next door to where I live. I got some videos of that. But let me show that hill again. I walk up that hill, and I do that for an hour. And yes, now it gets easier and easier every day. And actually, my goal when doing that walk is just to be at one with the universe, and so I can hear voices about what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, and I live on the third floor in my apartment. I live on the third floor in my apartment, so I have to walk up 3 flights of steps. So, and then when I go shopping, I got to walk downhill and then back up the hill. So between my 5 days of walking up and down the hill, walking up the steps in my apartment, now walking up the steps is no big deal. It was a killer. I thought I was going to have a heart attack and died. Now I can walk up the hill, downhill, up the hill, and it's no big deal. Walking up the hill is no big deal. It is really affecting my health in a very positive fashion. And someone asked me yesterday, well, do you need a car in Morelia? I'm really happy not to have a car because it forces me, like after this broadcast today, I'm going to walk out and do some shopping. And if I had a car, I would get in my little car and I would drive somewhere, walk out the door, drive there, drive back, drive here, drive there. But now I don't get in the car. I walk. And all this up and down hill, up and down the steps, I'm getting more and more in shape. And I like that. I like that. I want to be in shape. I want to be cool. Okay, now let me scroll down here and see what I am missing. Okay, here we go. Jim Foster. Hi, Bill. Jim Foster, real estate. Glad to hear you like Morelia and are teaching us about places other than just the touristy towns. Thank you. And Jim, yes. Surely by early September, I will be going to more places and visiting. I'll be staying there 3 or 4 days, shooting videos, doing my historical research about these places. So you really want to, and these will all be central Mexico, Agua Caliente, Lago de Moreno, places that you don't hear about. And because if you want to live affordably in Mexico, you want to live in a place that nobody has heard of. Before, when I was living where was I living? Mazatlan. I'd never heard of Morelia before. One of my neighbors told me, oh, you ought to go to Morelia. I'd never heard of it before. And you want to go to places you've never heard of. That's where places are really affordable and life is most joyful. Okay, HB5. Hi, Bill, and chat. And if you're new here, ask a question, leave a comment, tell us what you think. We got Luis de la Garza in the house. He sounds like an American bubble full of nosy people. Yes, Luis, you hit that right on the head. And I like it where I live now because nobody knows who I am. And Morelia is different, way different than Mazatlan as far as friendliness level goes. It's like I've only been here 6 weeks. In Mazatlan, when you walk around and you see people look you in the eye and they say hello. Or you can look them in the eye and they'll look you in the eye and then say hello. In Morelia, it's a bit different. And this happened to me in Durango, Mexico also. People don't look you in the eye generally when you walk down the street. So Morelia is like that. But then the more they see you, then they give you a chance and they might say hello. And now my neighbors are saying hello to me. We have a security guard in my neighborhood. And this is not a gated community. I don't know who pays this guy. He has on a uniform and high black boots. He's I don't know, he's got to be like 55, kind of chubby. And he didn't say anything to me for the first week, the first 10 days. Now I say hello to him every day. He's very friendly. He speaks English. He speaks very good English. And now the people that I see when I walk, I was walking yesterday, and this couple, I've seen them every day for about 6 weeks because they walk too. And the lady, she'd never said anything to me. And she says, do you speak Spanish? And she said that in Spanish. Hablas, español, And so we started talking in Spanish. And the more people see you, the more friendly they get. So yeah, Ajijic is sounds like an American bubble full of nosy people. And yes, that is kind of what it is. Cali State job coach. Lived in Ajijic for 2 years. Nice in the low season, May through October. Then it gets very crowded and the traffic is terrible. And when he says terrible, that he means terrible, because to drive through Ajijic should actually only take you maximum 3 minutes. You should be able to drive through Ajijic in 3 minutes. But there's so much traffic there. One time, it took me an hour and a half to drive through Ajijic. Yeah, it's just crazy. Whatever. Chapala is better option if you want to live in the Lake Chapala area. And Cali State job coach. Yes, and that's where I lived. I lived in Chapala for 3 years, and it's totally different than Ajijic and more affordable. Got to bounce for Aaron's. Thanks for showing up, Cali State coach job. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. And Lawhoff, 95, thank you very much for contributing to the channel. This is how we pay for our microphones and our computer repairs and our travel, as well as our rent. People donate to the channel, and this is how I survive being an old black man living in Mexico. Thank you so much. Are there neighborhoods close to walking, hiking, cycling trails, walking distance? Thank you. Well, it's in that you asked, Lawhoff, and thank you so much for contributing to the channel. And if you're watching the rebroadcast and you would like to contribute to the channel, there's a link in the description below. It's called donate. It says donate. You can click that link, and then you can use PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discovery Card to contribute to the channel. Now, are there walking, hiking, cycling trails all over? This is a question that comes up. Mexican people, all generalities are false, but I'm going to say that Mexican people are way more health conscious than Americans. And like America, they do have challenges with obesity here. It is of concern to the government. People discover Twinkies and then they get addicted to Twinkies. And next thing they weigh like 450 pounds. It happens all over the world. But people in Mexico are extremely health conscious. A very common shop you're going to see all over Mexico is ice cream shops. Another common shop you're going to see all over Mexico is juicy. Do you want where they blend up strawberries or carrots, or those are everywhere. People love that stuff in Mexico. Healthy. I did a video about when I was at the Airbnb and they had the streets all blocked off and people were bicycling on the main street in Morelia. It was shut down so that people could ride their bikes and use their roller blades to get all over town. And while we're on the subject, let me take you on a tour through the park. I was showing you my street. Here again. Here's the street. And to the right, that is a big ecological park. It's called Francisco Zargo Park. And there's nothing in there. It's just a preserve. That's next door. That's my backyard, so to speak. So I walk like 20 feet and then I can walk into this park. This is my backyard, which is great. I don't have any neighbors back there. The only thing back there is birds. Believe it or not, they have like armadillos there, squirrels, which is kind of different for Mexico. And here, you're not allowed to take any alcohol in here, no guns, smoke cigarettes. The Francisco Zarco Ecological Park, and they have all kinds of walking trails in here. And they share with you, here are the armadillos. Who would think that they had armadillos in here? Squirrels, mamiferos, they call them. Mamiferos. Okay, whatever, right? They have reptiles in here. And I can look out in this park through my back window and I can see the lizards, reptiles. They have reptiles, lizards. And you come in here and, did I miss something? Let me turn off this. Let me turn this off. There you go. And you come into this place and you walk up these steps and then it takes you to a hiking path. It's all green. It's all beautiful, but Mexico is filled, and Morelia specifically is filled with hiking trails, biking trails, places to walk, gyms, places to exercise. I mean, it's all up, and people in Mexico are very healthy. I hope that answers your question. Rusty Hill. Hello, I made it today. I love these videos. I was sorry I missed last week. Rusty, happy to see you here. Actually, I am not a live YT guy, but Bill, you got me. Rusty, great to see you here. Thank you so much. And we got Killer Queen in the house. I was in Ajijic a couple of months ago. All old, white, rich people, and I'm old and white, and it's really small. Okay. Hey, I'm glad you chimed in. You white, and you noticed it is not just because I'm black. Yeah, and that's funny. All old, white, rich people, and I'm old and white. I'm telling you, man, that stuff gets old. It gets old after a while. David walked by Woolworth also, and man, I got to go into Woolworth, trying to decide if Guanajuato, Morelia, or San Luis Potosi in 2 years retirement. I love Guanajuato. And the only reason I didn't move to Guanajuato is it's a little more expensive than Morelia. I love Guanajuato. It's not much more. It's not that more expensive. It's not like Ajijic expensive. Ajijic is expensive. Morelia, but Guanajuato was cool as far as pricing from my research. I just fell in love with Morelia. That's just the way it came down. Earthly color brown. I don't want to live like that either. Various ages and energetic people inspire me for my mental health. I want diversity. One of the many reasons I look forward to relocating back to the lower 48 states. Yeah, I like diversity. I want to see all kinds of ages of people, all that kind of stuff. I am a mountain goat. The beaches are too hot for living. Beaches are for visiting. There you go, man. I do not miss the beach. I never went to the beach. I lived 3 blocks from the beach. I never went to the beach. I lived in Puerto Vallarta for 10 years. I for a while, I went to the beach when I first got there. And then when I lived in Mazatlan, I lived 3 blocks from the beach. I never went to the beach. It's pretty. And have a great live session. And Cali State job coach, he told us that he was leaving. Thank you very much for contributing to the channel. And this is how we pay our rent. Thank you so much for contributing. I think that SLP means San Luis Potosi was beautiful with ex-husband family 13 years ago. That was my first landing in Mexico, San Luis Potosi. It was great. Brian Maiden, have to agree with you, Bill. Been to Ajijic twice. Went to the Laguna Mall. Yep, every day. It was a meeting place for seniors and expat. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's all seniors. It's all seniors. I like being I'm the only senior. Let me think about this. I like being the only old guy. I'm the only old guy that I see. I'm the only senior that I see. And last week, I was talking about my new favorite grocery store on the planet. And last week, I think I called it La Comida. I got corrected on that. And it's actually called La Comer. It's the most fabulous grocery store I've been into in my entire life. And that means a lot because I lived in San Francisco, in San Francisco Bay Area for like 5 years. Well, they got Whole Foods out there. I used to work at a grocery store in high school at Kroger's, in a Kroger's superstore. I've been to the best grocery stores in Upper Arlington, Ohio, where all the rich people live. But La Comer, I was there this week, and it is fabulous. And somebody asked me, well, is La Comer throughout Mexico? And I looked it up, and I found out, for what it's worth, for people that want to know, if you ever see a La Comer anywhere, go in there. You will not want to leave. And if you stay in there too long, you'll spend way more money because they have so many excellent foods, electronics, everything. It makes Walmart want to stick its head up its butt and leave the country. And they ought to be ashamed after going into La Comer. But for what it's worth, I did some research, and there are 84 La Comers in Mexico, and they operate under different names. What are the? I got the different names. Okay, here you go. Some of them are called Fresco, and I've been to Fresco. I've been to Fresco in Guadalajara. If you ever get a chance to go to Fresco in Guadalajara, it's a fabulous place, like La Comer. And then another name that they use is City Market. If I'm not mistaken, I went by a City Market in Mazatlan. Another name they operate under is Su Mesa. And so I went to La Comer this week, and I was the old guy in La Comer, and I bought some T-shirts. In fact, I bought this T-shirt I got on now. Isn't that sexy? That's a nice T-shirt, right, with the V-neck. Because I wanted to get all sexy for you guys. Let me do a couple of more buttons. See, isn't that sexy? I got two of these. Two of these were like $11. And so I made my purchase, and the lady behind the counter, the lady that checked me out, she was talking some kind of Spanish to me, and I didn't understand what she was saying. And then she got out some papers, and she says, and what she was telling me was, well, if you buy two, you get another packet for free. And I think because I was the oldest guy in the store, she wanted to help me out. She was so kind to me. But yeah, I like that. I'm happy to be the old guy here. Buck stops here. Wow, Bill, your hood looks green with vegetation, big trees, and healthy bushes, green grass. I reckon you have cool temps and precipitation regularly. Very nice. Yes. And the park that I just showed you, let me go back to those clips over here. This is right. My windows in the back of the apartment are looking at this, and this is a big hill. And there's a cool breeze that comes off of this giant hill right in to my back windows, and you can see my view of the city. You can see the view of the city when you're walking down the hill in the park. Here I'm in the park. There's the view of the city when you're in the park. But yes, so I get all of this fresh air every day coming into the back of my house, as these beautiful air and temperature blows in, and it goes straight through my house all day. This is another one of the wonderful joys of living in Mexico. Okay, now what did I miss? Let me back up. Oh, here we go. Marco, how did the recent heavy rains affect your neighborhood? I live on a hill. So my neighborhood, it would have to be a biblical rain. Like I'd have to see Noah in a boat with a bunch of people waving at me from the boat before it would affect my neighborhood. Okay, I live on top. I probably live on one of the highest altitudes in Morelia, so it had no effect. Even though it rains every night here, for my neighborhood to flood, it would have to be biblical. I mean, truly biblical. Now, Brian Maiden. Bill, I really like Ajijic and the outdoor market, Malecon, great restaurants. Yeah, Ajijic has many fabulous things. Yes, there are outdoor markets. They have fabulous restaurants. It's a great music scene also. Just like Keith Richards. Keith Richards can play a mean guitar. He's got to be like 83. And you have a bunch of people over 70 in Ahihi that are fabulous musicians, and they can jam, and they do regularly. But that environment is not for me. Ciao, everyone. So happy to catch another live La Dolce Vita. Always great to see you in the house. And my friend Ruby Clemens. Hola, Rudy. Tell your lovely wife Shishi I said hello. Those voices, aka ancestors, love you. Peace is priceless, along with lifestyle, health, and fitness. The weather here is brutally cold, minus -50. So looking forward to moderate sunshine and variety. Yeah, pack your stuff today. Get the hell out of there. Life is too short to live like that. David, who lives here in Morelia and has a car in Morelia. If you have a car in Morelia, parking can be a pain in the ass. Yeah, man. I had a car when I lived in Guadalajara. What? Guadalajara has like 4 or 5 million people. Guadalajara is a fantastic city. It has everything you could ever want, but you got 4 or 5 million people there. And the worst thing about Guadalajara is the traffic. And even when I had a car in Guadalajara, most of the time I would just take Uber because traffic would be bad, parking would be ridiculous. It was much easier and less inexpensive just take Uber or Didi. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to say it. That's what I'm talking about. Susie, definitely go to Puebla and Atzlico. Active volcano. It's spectacular. Okay, I got to check that out. Puebla is not far from where I live. That is on my list. Uh-oh, something happened over here. I don't know what happened. There you go. Okay, let me take a screenshot. There we go. I got the screenshot. It is now officially on my list. Your local park looks so beautiful and meditation friendly. My neighborhood, this is one of the most peaceful neighborhoods I've lived in Mexico. In Mazatlan, I was 3 blocks from the beach. They had like 10 resort hotels, like within 3 blocks from where I lived. They all had bars in them. They would all play their music till 4 o'clock in the morning. Their music would start at 9 p.m. and they would play music, and loud music, until 4 o'clock in the morning. I would have to go to YouTube and put on rain sounds and crank my speakers up so I couldn't hear the music. If I woke up and I didn't hear any music, I knew it was after 4 a.m. Mazatlan was terrible, loud, neighbors playing loud music every day. It was terrible and expensive. Here, I have not heard a peep. Let me think about that. I have not heard a peep of loud music in 6 weeks. I don't even want to play my music. That's how nice it is here. Here it is nice. Yeah, no, we don't like that. I got some speakers in my closet and I could plug it in. I haven't even heard a neighbor. I live in a building with 8 units. I occasionally hear footsteps going up and down the steps. I haven't heard anybody talking. Haven't heard anybody's televisions. I haven't heard anybody playing loud music. My place is quiet. The park is right behind me. I love Mexico. Marco, he's from here. David, very true. Unless you rent a space or have a parking space in your home. Yeah, man. Even when I had a car, I would just use Uber or Didi. It's just not worth the frustration. Peter Krieger, I've heard about anti-gringo sentiment in Oaxaca. Have you experienced that in your travels? I'm going to say no, but I'm black. Mexicans like black people. Yeah. I'm black. Mexicans like black people. I'm a person of color. I've been here 20 years. Okay. So I've got 12,000 subscribers. 1 million people have seen my videos. So I get some nasty comments. Like I get comments from Mexico, from Mexicans saying, don't come down here with your imperialisms and raising our prices. Well, sure. I got a show. 1 million people have seen my videos. A lot of those are Mexicans. I'm going to say a very small percentage of the comments that I've received are from angry Mexicans. But going to everywhere, all of the pueblos, all of the towns that I've visited, scores of small towns, big cities, in 20 years, no one has been just bluntly rude and disgusted by being in their existence. I'm just going to say I've never experienced that. I'm going to say 99.999% of my encounters with Mexican people has been filled with love and joy. 99.999% of the time. Yeah. Okay, Axel Foley, walking specifically, especially up hills, exercises the heart and makes it stronger. As we get older, the heart atrophy, not good. Keep walking, my friend. Yeah, I don't want to do it. But I get out of bed at 6:30 in the morning. And that's the thing. When I was in Mazatlan, I had to get up at 4:30 in the morning so I could be walking by 5:15 because by 6 o'clock in the morning, it was hotter than hell. But here, I can get out of bed at 6:30, be walking at 7:15 for an hour. And I got on 2 hoodies. And yeah, but once I do it, I feel great, and I feel great today. Thank you, Axel Foley. Dominique. Okay. Looking forward to seeing your off the beaten track travels. My favorite kind of travel, best way to experience the most authentic culture and country. And I think Dominique, and I said it, I think before you showed up in the broadcast, I'm pretty much settled down here in my apartment. As you can see, I got kind of a new setup here in the studio. I'm getting comfortable with that. Got my internet service all set up. I know where I can buy food. I mean, like fresh stuff to eat. Got get my head all straight. Where do I walk? How do I walk? All that kinds of stuff. So I'm not gonna leave Morelia next week, but by the 1st of September, then it's time to hit the road again and show you guys what you want to see. And that's information about the joys of living in Mexico. The security guards will usually knock on your door asking for tips. That hadn't happened. That hadn't happened to me yet. That's funny. That's funny. Okay. Russell Barnes. I'm from the U.S. and have been living in Morelia for 3 years. Okay. I've actually only met about half a dozen expats. That's 6 people in 3 years. Very good. I know there are a few groups. I've never reached out. I love Morelia. Russell, thank you very much for your informative comment. Yeah. I don't want to. I really don't want to be in a. I really don't want to be in an expat group. I mean, I might want to like a David, who shows up here with us every Saturday. I want to meet him. I want to meet his wife. I want to meet Ms. Sam. Okay. I want to go out to breakfast with those, but everywhere I've been, you have Puerto Vallarta, Guadalajara, Mazatlan. They have expat groups and they get together and they just hang out with each other all the time, get on each other's nerves. I like what's going on right now. Aguas Calientes, looking forward to visiting there. Cool temps, natural spring waters, mountain views. I live in Colorado Springs. These 2 cities are very similar. I know I would like it there. I'm going to check that out. That is on my list. Doc, hello, Bill. Checking in. Just received my auto insurance quote. Full coverage, $371 a year. Ha ha. And you must be talking about your automobile coverage here in Mexico. Yeah. I don't have a car anymore. I paid automobile insurance here in Mexico for 12 years. And yeah, it was like $369 a year. Yeah. Yes, it's different, right? Jacqueline, good morning, Bill and everyone. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm busy doing hard work, girl. Well, we're just happy that you showed up. We're happy. We're always happy. Just happy to see you in the house, girl. Earthly Color Brown. Love the availability of local juices, taco stands, super fresh food vendors in San Luis Potosí many, many moons ago. Yeah, it's all good down here. I'm telling you, man. How far are the monarch butterflies? Carmen Reyes. Okay, let's say this. Morelia is surrounded by what they say are called they're called 8 magical cities. They call them Pueblos Mágicos. Pueblos Mágicos. So Morelia, if you think of Morelia as the sun and the planets going around Morelia, except much more closely, then Morelia is surrounded very close. I'm going to say within 30 miles of these Pueblos Mágicos, and where the monarch butterflies fly is one of these pueblos. And I will surely make a video when that event happens, which will happen very soon. And Doc has contributed $5 to the channel. Thank you so much, Doc. And feel free to contribute. This is how I pay my rent and save money so I can buy technical equipment. And that's how I get my food and go live, pay my high-speed internet so I can make you guys happy. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for just showing up. Content here at the Bill Dallas Lewis channel starting in September. We're going to rock and roll. We're going to be on the road more. We're going to have better videos. We're going to show more pueblos. We're going to take you places that other YouTube channels have no idea where they San Luis Potosi. Okay. Yeah, I liked San Luis Potosi. I lived there for 9 weeks. Law of 95. My appointment at the consulate in McAllen is in about a week. Afterwards, I plan on hiring a facilitator from Mexico, from the Mexico Relocation Guide to help with the second part in Morelia. Very good. Very, very good. Okay, so you got a week afterward hiring a facilitator. That's a good idea. Let me think about this. Mariana Lang, the Mexican Relocation Guide. She's coming here to my apartment with her videographer to interview me in my neighborhood, or me, and I'm going to take her around the neighborhood. She's coming like August 28th. That is an excellent service. It's a $500 lifetime subscription. There's a link if you want to, because she's got, she has hooked herself up with immigration people, guides, facilitators all over Mexico. She's a network. And for $500 for the rest of your lifetime, medical information, healthcare, for $500 for your entire lifetime, you can get all the help you need about living in Mexico. And that's a very good decision. Buck stops here. San Luis Potosi is in San Luis Potosi. That's funny. And Aguas Calientes is in Aguas Calientes. There are several places in Mexico where the city is the same name as the state. And that was so funny. People used to ask me, well, where did you live in Mexico? Well, I lived in San Luis Potosi, San Luis Potosi. That's hilarious, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Earthly Cuddler Brown. Bill, get it with your t-shirts. Yeah, right on. Live your life and get the free third pack. Yeah, right. That's right. Your backyard is phenomenal. It's awesome. Yeah, this is great. And Jamie is in the house. Only everyone. Crazy flood here, and the power was out from 10 p.m. Till last night until just now. Well, I'm glad that your lights are on and you have rejoined the planet. Jamie, always great to see you here in the house, Temple Moore. Bill, you have an air purifying force right out your back window. Yeah, I mean, my life is perfect. People ask me, how you doing? How you doing? And I tell you what, it takes a while to scan your brain and think, well, what's wrong? People say, how's your life? How's everything going? And I'm scanning my brain to think, I'm sorry. I'm scanning my brain to think, well, what's wrong? Oh, what's wrong? What's bad? What is bad in my life? What's terrible? And nothing pops into my mind that's bad or terrible. I love living in Mexico. People are so nice here. The weather's so good, depending on where you live. And the prices are so great. So thank you guys so much for showing up. Julie Owens, thanks so much. Morelia looks beautiful. Any lake or water views there? Love that about Ajijic. Yes, there are many lakes all around Morelia. And but in Morelia, you can actually get into lakes and swim. And you can eat the fish out of the lakes. Yeah, which is totally untrue about Ajijic. Temple Moore, I'm sorting stuff while listening. Gotta get out of this desert heat. No, desert heat. No, we can't have you living in desert heat. No, we can't have that. No desert heat. I need a place like that for morning walking meditations too. And that's what my morning walk is. It's a walking meditation. That's what gets my day started. It's what carries me through the day so I can hear the voices that are going to help me out. And Char Williams, thank you so much, Char, for contributing to the channel. This is how we pay our rent and eat our chicken thighs. Oh, some kind of loud truck is going down the street. Sounds like they stopped right in front of my house, but they shut the engine down. Thank God. They must know I'm going live. They must know it's Saturday morning, and they knew to shut their engine off right when they got in front of my house. So I would have to go out there and get them. I don't play that loud. Not when I'm going live. Don't be having a loud truck in front of my place. But Char Williams, thank you so much for contributing to the channel. Padlock 39. Buenos dias, Bill. My attendance here has been irregular lately. I may have missed it, but there was a young woman who you stored. She traveled with you to Guanajuato. How is she? She's doing great. She's still making a lot of money as a counselor in Mazatlan. Now she's a fully fledged lesbian, and she's making lots of money. She has 2 sons that come and visit her regularly in Mazatlan, and she loves her life very much, and she loves being gay. There you go. Okay, Jacqueline, please hit the like button. That's right. We got 88 people in the house and 47 likes. We're going live again Saturday. Bill, saludos desde Tejas. Glad to join you and your group. Ms. P, thank you so much for joining us. You mean you feel safe in Mexico, and that cannot be said of the United States less and less. So visualizing my soft landing, yes, I do. I do feel, I do feel very safe. And Doc and Earthly Browns asking, who is your auto insurance provider? And if you're looking for an auto insurance provider, I'm the same guy. There's the truck. The truck is started up. Hopefully they're pulling away. Okay, the truck has pulled away. If anyone is looking for an auto insurance agency, feel to email me, and I can email you with my insurance provider's name. They were located in Puerto Vallarta, but they also sold me the service when I lived in Guadalajara. But I was with him. His name is Ignacio something, and I paid him money for 12 years, and it was a good service, though I never had to use it. I never had an accident. Jose Bearhan, hi, Bill. What about medical insurance for seniors? All I can say is good luck. All I can say is good luck with that. And here's my new insurance policy. I was paying a lady $2,000 a year, which is, I guess that's good if you live in the United States. But that was with a $5,000 deductible. So it really didn't cover anything like pills. I don't take pills. I don't go to the doctor because I might believe what they say. And then Like if I go to the doctor tomorrow and they tell me I got 5 kinds of cancer and you're going to die in 6 months, I might believe them. Next thing, I'm believing that I got 10 kinds of cancer and I need to take this drug and this drug and this drug and this drug to help pay their pharmaceutical budget so they can get all their kickbacks. So next thing, I'm spending all this money for drugs, going to all these doctors because I'm going to die in 6 months. So I just don't go. I just walk in the mornings, I meditate, I eat decent food. And if I die, I die. But I can't die because I'm an eternal spirit. I've been around 10 million years. If my body kicks off, I'm still alive. I'll be alive forever. So I'm not giving anybody any, I don't care. If I have a heart attack today and this body kicks off, then I'm just going into the next room. That's my health insurance right there. How you like that? Ha ha. P Lady, thank you so much for donating to the channel. Love you very much. Love you all. I'm just happy you guys show up and share information and questions. And if you are new here, I mean, where are we? We're like an hour and a half into the broadcast. And I'm just happy to see you guys here, happy to run my mouth and share information about the joys of living in Mexico. Axel Foley, is there a wine industry in Mexico? Yes, there is. I have yet to go to a winery in Mexico. I've heard about wineries outside of Guadalajara. And I think I looked that up. There are many wineries in Mexico. In fact, when I first started the channel in Chapala, Ajijic, there was a family that had a winery right outside of the Chapala, Ajijic. I was going to do an interview with them, but I never did. There are several, I'm sure. Richard, I hear if you have, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Can you have a shoe shop make you a large pair of shoes, or are those shoe shops just for repairs? And I'm laughing, but this is a very serious question for people with large feet. And I have size 12 feet. And I'm going to say if you're a guy and you have larger than 9.5 size feet, it's going to be a problem for you to find shoes anywhere in Mexico. I was trying to find shoes. It's just a nice pair of dress shoes in Guadalajara. I lived there like 3 years. I went to I drove all over town, 5 different shoe shops. I went into those big, giant shoe shops. They look like grocery stores. They have all kinds of shoes. And by the end of my 5 visits, instead of walking in and saying, oh, I couldn't just go get a pair of shoes. I couldn't just say, I want these shoes. That was out after 5 shoe shops. I couldn't just walk in, I want these shoes. Well, no, they just say, no, we don't have those in your size. By the time I got to the 5th shoe store, I was walking in and I was saying, I have, look at my feet. What kind of shoes do you have for me? That's the way it was. Then after 14 years of living here, then I discovered I could buy my shoes on Amazon. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. The last 4 pairs of shoes I have bought on Amazon.com. Then so if you have big feet, go to Amazon.com get any kind of shoe you want. You can give them your shoe size, and most likely you can have your shoes in 3 or 4 days. My last 3 pairs of walking tennis shoes are from Amazon.com. Last year, I bought a pair of wingtip nice dress shoes, Amazon.com. Thank God. If you have big feet in Mexico, you are pretty much screwed at any shoe shop you go to. But there are people, specifically, I remember the place in Leon, Mexico is the leather capital of Mexico. You go there and they will make like shoes for you. You just tell them what you want. Okay, let's keep going. Axel, there you go. Querétaro. Lots of wineries around Querétaro. Very good. Thank you for that information. Lawhoff 95. Thank you. And this is the great thing about going live. Like I said, I've said it earlier in the broadcast. I don't know everything, but we have people in the house. Whatever I don't know, somebody else in here knows. And as we go week by week, we all learn together. One big family here. Alex Fernandez. Hola, amigo. ¿Cómo estás? Todo bien aquí. ¿Cómo estás? Todo bien aquí. I see. Life with Shay. I'm late to the party, Bill. Glad to you today. Life with Shay, always great to see you in the house. Always great to see everybody in the house. Life with Shay, I'm late. Glad to see you today. Happy to see you, Buck Stops Here's. Yeah. Char Williams. I applied for my passport on July 26th. Got my passport on August 9th. It only took 4 weeks. Hopefully everything else goes as smoothly. Yeah, things, once you get the ball rolling, things usually, these governmental services get things done on time. It's amazing. I'm in the middle of my passport. I don't think I need a new passport until the year, I think, 2030. If I'm alive then, that'll be cool. And for what it's worth, I just want to say one of the good things about living in Ajijic was they have this organization in Ajijic called the Lake Chapala Society. That's one of the best things about Ajijic. It's like a 1-block facility of beautiful gardens and meeting places and buildings. It's all closed off. You walk in one gate and you can rent videos there, check out books. They have all kinds of groups that meet there regularly. They have a little diner food place to eat. But the Guadalajara U.S. consulate visits there once a month. So if you need to update your passport, you go to the Lake Chapala Society. The Guadalajara United States consulate will meet you there once a month. You go fill out some papers. The next month you come back and get your passport. I got my passport renewed also in Puerto Vallarta. In Puerto Vallarta, the consulate for Puerto Vallarta is actually in Nuevo Vallarta, which is like an 8 to 10 mile drive away. It'll take you half an hour to drive there. But they go into El Centro, Puerto Vallarta, once a month, and they will give you the paperwork to renew your passport. A month later, they come back with your passport. Whatever. Jacqueline, Bill, what international health insurance do you recommend? I'm going to say, here's what you do. If you're going to buy health insurance and live in Mexico, you're going to have to pay some cash. So if you got cash and you want to pay, I'm thinking you're going to have to pay about $5,000 or $6,000 a year to get good international health insurance. So there's a guy, I did a video with a guy. Let me think about this. I put up this video about 3 months ago. Okay. I'm just thinking Mazatlan Medical. No, Marina Medical. Let me look this. Let me go to Google right here. Marina, here we go. Marina Medical. There you go. Let's see what comes up, and then I'm going to put in Mazatlan. I'm sorry. Mazatlan. There we go, right there. Here we go. Yeah, okay, here we go. Let's pull this up. Okie dokie. Okay. So check this out right here. What you want to do. Come on now. Okay, here we go. Let me. There's a place in Mazatlan. It is called Hospital Marina Mazatlan. And you can do a search for that. Hospital Marina Mazatlan. And you want to call them and tell them you want to talk to a guy named Scott Kramer. Scott Kramer. Better yet, I got Scott's telephone number right here. Let's see if I can find it in WhatsApp. Look, give me a second here. Oh, look at that. I'm going through this because this is a real question. Okay. Okie dokie. If I can't do this quickly, I'll email you with the answer. His wife's. You want to contact that hospital and find Scott Kramer. And Scott, his job is to find medical assistance depending on the type. Oh, here we go. Here he is. I found him. Scott Kramer. Okay. Okay, come on. Give me his phone number. Oh, come on. Okay, his name is Scott Kramer. And email him. You can email him directly and get ready to write this down, Jacqueline. Get ready to write this down at mtmexico.maz. That's mtmexico.maz. mtmexico.maz at gmail.com. Email him directly. Tell him that Black Bill, who used to live in Mazatlan, suggested that you call him, and he can talk to you about medical insurance for months. He can hook you up, tell you where to get it. He's got a service for air vac to get you out of town in case you get hit by a car and all your arms and legs fall off and you need some serious help. But his name is Scott Kramer, and I've got to put all of his contact information on my website. I'm going to leave that alone for right now. Okay, here we go. Now, Miss Sam, my son, visited me from Georgia. He was given the same beautiful treatment here in Morelia. Isn't that great? People come down to visit and they just get blown away. They get blown away. All the people, I'm going to say most of the people that watch my videos and end up moving down here, just their whole life just changes. But in my notes, at the very end of my notes for a day, I want to mention Mexico is not for everybody. And some people have watched my videos, moved down here, they hate it and they leave. Whatever. Axel Foley, interesting, not advertised at all here in the U.S. Heard about Argentina's and Colombia's wine, but not Mexico. Mexico has everything. Everything you want is here in Mexico. And Jamie Cerveza, Jamie spelled Cerveza correctly this week. Thank you, Jamie, for contributing to my beer habit. And thank you so much. Glad you got electricity. Hey, man, I totally agree with your thoughts on medical insurance. Yeah, screw it, man. Because I'm going to say for medical insurance, every day if I break my arm, I bet it's going to cost like $125 to fix. I bet. I can pay $125 if I break my arm. If I break my leg, I bet that's going to cost me like $500. I can pay $500 if I break my arm. Okay. If I get the flu. Now, another thing about healthcare in Mexico is that many pharmacies that you go to, they have a little doctor's office outside the pharmacy, and it'll look like a closet. And there's a doctor in there. He's got a stethoscope, a place for you to sit and a place for him to sit. And so he'll do what the doctors do. Okay, breathe. Okay, let me touch this. Let me touch that. Breathe. Okay. And then if you have the flu, then he can prescribe you some drugs, and then you go to the pharmacy and get your drugs. So to go see the doctor, last time I did it, which was like 5 years ago, in the COVID area, it was like $4. I went and saw the doctor for $4. Okay. One time, and I've told this before, but one time I had some hole in the bottom of my foot. It was just like, well, what's this? How many times you look at the bottom of your feet? It was like this little hole. So I went to the foot doctor. And so the foot doctor, I go to the foot doctor. I'm in there with him, and he's got this electric buffer doing his thing. He got lotions, all this kind of stuff going on. I was with him for an hour. He said, no problem. It was just dry skin, something like. I was with him for an hour. I get done. He gets done. And I say, well, how much is that? He said, 200 pesos. 200 pesos is like $10. He did all that work. Spent an hour with me. It was like $10. Most medical stuff that you need down here, unless you got some freaky deaky disease. I don't have any freaky deaky diseases. If you got freaky deaky diseases, stay wherever you are now, where you're getting whatever care that you can. When I lived in San Francisco, my mother lived in Washington, D.C. She had 12 doctors, and me and her and my father were not getting along. And they never got along in the 50 years of their marriage. Okay. But I said, Mom, come out here and live with me in San Francisco. Screw him. Come live with me in San Francisco. And she said, I can't move to San Francisco because then I'd have to leave my doctors. I'm thinking, what kind of life is that? Yeah. So if you got a freaky deaky disease and you need some kind of freaky deaky health care, stay where you are. Now, here we go. Jacqueline, member, she's a member, and she's been a member for 5 months. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Greatly appreciated. Jamie, from what I researched, Bill is right that most health services are pretty reasonable in Mexico. But for heart attacks, strokes, major incidents, I've been quoted 2,000 to 3,000 US per year. Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, like if you get decapitated, like if you're in your house and all of a sudden your head falls off and it's just laying over there on the floor, you can't pick it up because your body's over in another part of the house. You're screwed, man. You're screwed. That's going to cost you a lot of money. All right. Now, here we go. If you're a resident, you can get public insurance for about $1,200 per year, which is not as good as private should help in an emergency. Okie dokie. Okay, Ms. Sam, what made you decide on Morelia? Our family is African-American Hispanic daughter. Do you feel peace walking around? Yes, she does. I know that for a fact. Okay, someone I chat with just ended up paying $800 US for a 4-day stay in hospital in San Miguel at a private hospital for a bad case of COVID. Okay, whatever. Lesson learned 47. I look forward to my Saturday mornings as you're always a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much. Lesson learned 47. And down here we got Jay Keaton. I share your perspective on doctors and meds. You thank you, Jay Keaton. Thank you so much. And Ken Art, there he is jumping out of his plane. He's still watching. He jumped out of the plane like an hour and a half ago. He's still going down, watching us live. He's watching us live as he parachutes. He's been parachuting for an hour, still watching us live. And he was able to click the donate button and give $10 to the channel. Woo! He is multi-talented. Bill, size 12 here. Let me know if you need gently worn. Yeah, man. If you ever make it to Morelia and you got some old boots, what I need is some walking boots so that when it rains, my feet won't get wet when I'm walking in the morning. Ken Art, thank you so much for being here, showing up, and contributing to the channel to help me pay my rent while you're parachuting. Jamie, I had a hospital visit in PV. It cost me $17.23 Canadian for x-ray. Lab work was there for hours. Crazy. Brian, I think you just went to a bad hospital. You really have to know kind of where to go. I think that's just not right. Because I had x-ray lab work in a hospital in PV, and it was $250. Yeah, that was just the wrong spot. I visited the Hospital La Mujer, that means the hospital of the woman, for my yearly routine mammogram. The government women's hospital here is free. The doctors themselves administer the test. The equipment was very sophisticated. Oh, we got med talk going on today. That's what I've been hearing, Brian. Insurance is important for us old farts. Very good. Ms. Sam, the dentist and optometrist here are very good. I love their facilities. They have all the latest equipment. Love it. Had month x-rays at the lab. The service was phenomenal. And look who has shown up in Columbus, Ohio. Ms. Matthews. Hola, Ms. Matthews. Rusty Hill. excellent job explaining the healthcare situation. Healthcare is very affordable here. I mean, I'm just saying, if you got some disease where they're going to hook, like COVID's going to cost you, if you get COVID real bad and they say COVID is on the upswing internationally, I've heard that once they stick the tubes in your lungs and you're in the hospital for like a month, that might cost you $75,000 US. Whatever. Yeah. So if you get some funky ass, I said the A word. If you get some funky, but you getting ready to die anyway, just go get some razor blades and slit your wrist and save the money. Try that. In Chiapas, all that less than $100. Okay. Exercise. There you go. Exercise is the best insurance. And that's what I do. I exercise. I just exercise. That's why I walk in the morning. And I tell you what, I'm going to tell you what, almost every time I walk, some part of my body starts acting up. I might get a spasm, or something may twinge, and it's like my body's saying, "Oh, we don't want to be healthy. You're walking. We don't want to be. I just want to be sick." But I just walk and relax, and after 3 minutes, those twinges always go away. Always. And I've been exercising since I was like 19. I've taken my breaks, but yeah, man. And for those of you that may be hesitant to just walk for an hour every morning, 1 hour. And if you don't want to walk an hour, just walk for 5 minutes and add a minute every day. And I want to say this: when I was in college, I was getting chubby. I was 19. And one of the guys, I was 19 at Dartmouth College, and I was getting chubby. And this guy that lived across the hall, I lived in an all black dorm, so this other black guy, he says, "Bill Lewis, you're getting chubby. You need to lose weight." I mean, I wasn't fat. I was just getting a gut. And he just told me, he says, "Here's what you do. Do 30 sit-ups a day." And he said, every day add 1 sit-up until you get to 100. And so I said, okay. And I did that, and I got unchubby. Then I started lifting weights. And then I exercised regularly for the rest of my life. Whatever. There you go. So I'm going to shut up about there. And Brian Maiden has contributed to the channel. And thank you so much, pretty boy Brian Maiden, for sharing your presence with us this morning and your $20 in Canadian contribution. It is greatly appreciated. And that's a lot. That's a lot of money down here, Brian. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Susie, how am I not a member? That's the 411 on being a member, por favor. Oh, what's the information? Oh, that's funny. Okay, there's a little, and I haven't invested too much time into the membership program, but I think somewhere on your screen, I think it's at the bottom, or I think it's below the video window. It says join. It says join us, and you click that, and then you join and you become a member, and it costs you like $3 a month, something like that. That's it. You just click the join. That's it. You just click join, and it'll ask you for like $3, and then there you go. Then you're a member. You have to pay that every month. Bill, thank you for another great Saturday morning. Hope you and all in the house this morning have a great weekend. Peace and love to all. Brian, Pretty Boy Maiden, thank you so much for joining us and blessing us and sharing your information, your contribution. I'm sure you clicked the like button. Thank you so much. Yeah, you guys, I want to thank you all. Love you all. I'm not sure what the next video is going to be like. That's funny. Race quit. That's funny. I'm not. Let me check my notes. I want to see. I do have a note here. I do have to say that. I do have to say that cost of living really reduces a lot of stress. I know that all of you out there, you're all millionaires. You're driving, you got like 2 Mercedes, a couple of boats, you hanging out with like Mick Jagger on the weekends and stuff. You got your private jets. I'm not in that club. So the cost of living, when my rent, even with the peso being at the rate it is now, I'm paying like $471 a month for rent. My food cost is pretty much next to nothing. My major cost of living is my YouTube channel and taking trips. But moving here from Mazatlan, my rent went down from like $850 a month to $471 a month. And in my notes, I remember when I was living in Cincinnati in 1998, and I owned a home. And I was writing and illustrating children's books, and my mortgage payment in 1998 was $2,500 a month. That's in 1998. That's like 27 years ago. On top of the $2,500 a month, I had credit card debt up the butt. In Cincinnati, it gets cold in the winter and hot in the summer. So, I was paying like $700 a month in utility bills. I had about $5,000 a month or more I think it was like $7,200 a month in bills to pay. And I'm going to say that was stressful. I had my own business, writing and illustrate children's books. I sometimes I would just get behind. I remember one month I was behind like 3 months on $7,200 a month. You get behind 3 months, that's $23,000 you got to come up with. That's stressful. And living here in Mexico, instead of with $7,000 a month in bills, I got like $500 at the most, $550. That's a big difference. Even I know all you guys are millionaires. You got 5 Mercedes and 15 Rolex watches and all that kind of stuff. But the cost of living down here will change your life. I like it. Okay, now here we go. Jacqueline. Thanks again for a good video. Happy week to you all. Thank you, Jacqueline. Hola, Earthly. I was introduced to Morelia by Bill. That's funny. He talked about how Morelia doesn't have a lot of tourists. I walk without fear here. Everyone is my family here, and that's the way it is. And Marco has become a member. And Marco, I'm kind of interested in you because last week you shared with us that you were from here and you have family here. So if you would, I would be interested in interviewing you wherever we could do a remote interview. I would like to get some history about you. I'm interested in you. I want to hear your story. So if you would, Marco, could you, if you want to, if you could email me at bill.dallas.lewis10@gmail.com. I'd like to maybe have a phone conversation first, and I'd like to hear your story about where you are now, when you were in Morelia, what's your transition, what that's all about, because I would like to have more interviews with Mexicans on the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. I'm very interested in that. Okay, so I found that was in my notes right here. I'm just checking my notes here. Okay, I got all of that. I'm just checking my notes. I don't want to miss anything. Okie dokie, I got that. I think I hit everything on the list. I am quite satisfied. Okay, very good. Oh, Dominique. Also, Dominique, before you go, you mentioned a city. I took a screenshot of that city. I've not researched it yet, but I will have information on that city by next weekend. All right, cost of living. My cost of living in Chiapas is 10% of what it was, in Las Vegas, where I am from. My house here in Las Vegas would be $1 million, 3-bedroom and office, but I am very lucky. I got this for $3,500 a month. Cost of living will really change it. Patio garden included. Yes, I will definitely. That is on my list, Dominique, for next weekend. All right, y'all. I'm ready to get out of here. I'm going to go do some shopping. Check out this fabulous weather. I want to thank everyone for showing up. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I got to go back here. Let me go back here. Let's see what's going on here. Pesos. Rusty Hill. Yeah, the peso is going back up. It's still relatively low. I hope it starts going down more this week. But the peso has gone down. Today it's at around 1865 as we speak. Temple Moore, I have another great week living your best life in Mexico. Thank you, Temple. Come on down, girl. Ms. Sam, they have all sorts of fruit trees on the sidewalks here. These trees are loaded with fruits. I walk a lot by ear, so I pick them and eat them on my way. Yeah, that was really cool. When I lived in Guadalajara, I would do the walk in the morning. In this one place, they had avocado trees. And it was almost like every morning, avocados would just be laying around in the street. Pick up 2 or 3 avocados for free laying out. Yeah, man. You know, if you're going to be homeless, move to Mexico. Live somewhere where they have a bunch of fruit growing on trees and stuff. It's warm. You're not going to freeze to death. Yeah, right on. Bill, will you show the lake areas there? Yes, I will. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Marco, thank you for joining us. Hasta luego, everyone. And you guys are saying what I'm getting ready to say. I'm getting ready to say, love you all. Love everybody. This is I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting live from Morelia, Mexico. And this is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. And we make videos about the joys of living in Mexico. I want to say that we had about 84, 90 people in the house. We have 52 likes. If you haven't clicked the like button yet, click it on the way out. Looks like I got a comment. I'm going to answer this one more comment. 3 aguacate. Rusty. I eat 3 aguacates a day. Aguacates means avocado. And I think it took me like 5 years to learn how to say aguacate. I'm serious, man. It's one of the hardest Mexican or Spanish words I had to work. I mean, I gave up. Aguacate. It took me years to learn how to say it. I can say it now. But yeah, I've had 4 a week. Most days I eat 1. They're really good for you and good for your digestive system also. Don't take whatever that stuff is. What is that stuff? Let me think. To make you go boo boo. When you can't go boo boo, they have those drugs you can buy at the pharmacy. Don't do that. Eat a couple of avocados. You take a couple of avocados and your boo boo could be coming out of your butt like rockets fuel, like that. You'd be flying around the house. Yeah. Now, are there places in Mexico that would support an autistic adult? I would say all over. I would say all over Mexico there is health care for you, but and I knew someone in Chapala and Guadalajara, and they both lived with autistic adults. But in both of those situations, the individuals living with the autistic adult stayed with that individual 24/7. So, I mean, to either you're going to have to be around the autistic adult 24/7, or you're going to have to pay someone to be around that adult 24/7. But I'm going to say to pay someone to be around that adult 24/7 is going to be much more affordable in Mexico than it is in the United States. Yes. And yeah, aguacate. Yeah. Fiber. Yeah. Carl. Okay. And Michelle, YMC, where? YMCA. Okay, you guys. Rusty Hill. They got mad at me because I didn't speak the C correctly. Aguacate. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I get pronunciation corrections every week as soon as I get off of my live broadcast, but I'm not going to worry about it. I just have bad pronunciation challenges. That's okay. But anyway, once again, I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting live from Morelia, Mexico, and this is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. We make videos about the joys of living in Mexico. Thank you all for joining us today. Thanks for showing up, making comments, clicking the like button, maybe donating to the channel so we can pay our rent. So love everybody. I love doing this, and I hope I can provide a couple of more informational videos that will be helpful to you this week. And I will immediately after the broadcast start working on great content so we can get together next week. So here we go. I'm going to get out of here. Adios. Hasta luego. Love you all. Que te vaya bien.